Their data is being passed through email in an unsecured fashion, and their information is all over. It's not tracked.
Obviously, innovation's happening, on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, oftentimes at warp speed. But in terms of how much room there is left to really enhance and improve the borrowing experience, what can you say about that?
Oh, there's a lot that can be done. There's a lot that can be done. I think that there's still a long way to go to improve the borrower experience. And their data and protecting their data is, to me, one of the most important things that should be done, will be done, and can be done to be able to improve the experience. The way the process works right now is they're being called by brokers all day long, or they go on a website, they fill out, and they get a million phone calls, and that is daunting. Okay, that I feel bad for them. They literally go out and fill out a form, and their phone is literally ringing off the hook. And I don't think if they knew that, they would have signed up for that. But essentially, they have to go fill out an application, right? A credit application. They go get their bank statements, right? And they submit it. And the thing is that the brokers are generally unlicensed, it's just unregulated. And what usually happens, not always, but often, brokers are submitting to brokers who are submitting to brokers, and you just don't never know how many brokers it takes to get to a funder. Sometimes it's direct, a lot of times it's direct actually, but their data is being passed through email in an unsecured fashion, and their information is all over. It's not tracked. It doesn't know. It's inefficient. It's unsafe, and it's how fraud happens. So I think that the industry could really grow up there in that area, and I also think that the industry should just be more digitized, right? I think that would be something that could really help. And that's kind of what I was talking about with the banks and APIs, things like that. And I think it will happen. I think it's going to come, and it's going to help the borrower make more sense of what's going on. They don't know. They come to the transaction and they just don't know. And, I think that it would be nice to give them that transparency. Funders do, right? They do. A lot of times they're explaining, we do that. We explain everything that's happening, but I'm talking about at the beginning of the process, understanding what's actually happening with their data, what's going on. And I think that'd be really nice. The other part is there's a lot of good brokers, and there's also a lot of not so good brokers. And the reason why I say that is because it's mostly unregulated, and they say things that you have to sometimes clean up, and you have to make sure that they understand what's going on. I would love to solve for that problem. I would love to have some type of standard or requirement that brokers have to abide by, or they get blackballed from the industry, some kind of licensing for brokers. I would love that. Nothing would make me happier. Oh, actually, I would say nothing made me happier. There's a few things that make me equally as happy. But I think that, again, with the borrower, it's not fair. It paints a bad picture on our industry. I would love to clean that up, where it's an even playing field. Brokers have to operate from an even playing field. So they have to have either great relationships, good process, build a good rapport, as opposed to say things that maybe bend the truth, break the truth, whatever. It does exist. That's just what it is. It does exist. And I think, look, my best recommendation to any borrower, tuning in would be to Google and check reviews of the funding company and the brokerage, both of them, and really, really check them, right? And when you get an offer, check to see if it's from that brokerage or a funder, and then check the funding company's reviews as well, because they're often different. And then reconfirm what you were told with the funder. That is a great way to make sure that you're protecting yourself. So if you apply and it's like so-and-so brokerage and they say they're a direct funder, which they all do, and they give you an offer and you review them and you're like, okay, the reviews are good. I'll go through with that. And then you get a contract, and then the contract says Greenbox Capital, for example. Google Greenbox Capital reviews, see what they're saying, and then talk to them and ask them questions saying, here's what my broker told me. Here's what's going on. Is this what's happening? Is this what's happening? Be in communication. That sets you up for success to make sure. And we're also doing our part too to make sure that we say, here are the terms and conditions. You agree to this, you agree to this, you agree to this, because we want to make sure that it's done in fair dealings, right? That we do. That would be some of the best advice that I can give to give transparency right now in the industry, which how it exists.